Oh my god, I just found this broken pot in my backyard, just sitting there like it's been forgotten forever. I should probably throw it away like a normal person, but I can't stop looking at it. And somehow, I don't see trash anymore, I see an aquarium. Yeah, this is either going to be amazing or a total disaster. So I hit it with water like it owed me money, trying to wash off all the mud, the history, and honestly, whatever crimes this pot has committed. Then I went in and scrubbed like I was fighting for my life. This mud and green slime had been here so long, they probably had legal ownership. If you actually enjoy watching me turn random trash into something usable, go ahead and hit subscribe. Finally got it clean, and boom, there's a crack. Of course, because this pot is not done ruining my life yet. So yeah, time to melt holes on both sides with a heat tool, because drilling like a normal person is just too boring. And somehow, the holes are actually clean and smooth, which is suspicious because everything else I do usually ends in disaster. So I pulled out this ancient roll of wire, you know, the one you keep for no reason, and suddenly, it's the most important thing in this whole project. Then I grabbed my professional pliers to lock the wires in place, because suddenly, I'm acting like I know exactly what I'm doing. Then I grabbed my professional pliers to lock the wires in place, because suddenly, I'm acting like I know exactly what I'm doing. Then I trimmed off the extra wire, you know, to make it look clean, like I didn't just figure this out 10 seconds ago. I carefully trimmed each piece of wire, you know, trying to look precise like I actually planned any of this. And just like that, it's fixed, which feels illegal considering my skill level. Then I grabbed my special glue to seal every tiny gap, because clearly, glue is the solution to all my bad decisions. Ha ha ha. Then I used my professional hand to smooth the glue in one clean line, making sure it seals every tiny gap, like I actually know what I'm doing. Then I sealed the outside joints too, just in case this thing decides to leak and ruin my confidence. And somehow, I just kept going back and forth, smoothing the glue inside, over and over, making it as flat as possible, because leaks are not an option anymore. After walking around my backyard for a bit, I finally found the perfect spot for this aquarium, which is great because now I'm emotionally invested. Wow, it actually looks amazing here. I can't believe this used to be trash. And the best part? I found these blocks right in my backyard, so I grabbed them, gave them a quick wash, and now they're officially aquarium decorations. Next up, the part you can't skip, charcoal for the base, plus a professional knife to break it down, because apparently I've decided to make this way more intense than it needs to be. I smoothed out the base and arranged the rocks, and somehow, it's starting to look way better than it should. Then I scattered the smaller rocks around the pot in a circle, you know, to make it look intentional. Like I didn't just figure this out on the spot. I smoothed everything out, and somehow, it's starting to look way too good for my skill level. Now I'm pouring the soil into the center, slowly, carefully. Like one wrong move could ruin everything. Then I carefully spread the soil with a knife, trying to make it perfect, because now I'm taking this way too seriously. Then I added a layer of red sand over the soil and around the pot, just to make everything look clean, balanced, and way more professional than it should be. Now I'm walking around the garden looking for something to plant, and boom, right there by the wall, I spot some pennywort, like it's been waiting for this moment its whole life. I carefully transplanted it. And just like that, it got a serious upgrade in life. I placed them in the center, and somehow, this is starting to look like a real aquarium. Look at that. The pennywort is sitting there all neat and perfect, like it's been living here its whole life. Now just relax with me for a moment, and enjoy watching these little fish swim around, because somehow, all of this actually worked. Look over there. That's the aquarium I've been working on. And somehow, it's almost done. All right, back to work. I'm taking water from this big tank and adding it into mine, because it already has all the good bacteria. And honestly, I'm just trying to skip the hard part. Here it goes. Water going in. If this leaks, we pretend this never happened. Oh no. Wait, I'm already seeing dirt floating on the surface. Yeah, this is not going according to plan. So I kept pouring water until it overflowed, letting all the dirt wash away, because we're not giving up that easily. Next, for decoration, I grabbed a piece of scrap foam and whatever tools I had, slowly carving it into a circle, because apparently I've entered my DIY artist phase. Once the circle was marked, I kept cutting around it, over and over, making it easier to remove the extra foam, like I'm doing some kind of serious precision work. I removed the extra foam, and somehow, it actually looks clean and intentional. Then, I decided to make another circle, and this time, I grabbed a pot lid, because apparently my kitchen is now part of this project. Ha ha ha. Finally. It comes out perfectly. After all that work, I feel like I deserve some respect for this. I carefully shaved off the extra foam, and somehow, it's starting to look way better than expected. Finally, it's finished. And for something this simple, that took way too much effort, I'm going to hang this up. And now I want you to guess. What do you think I'm about to do next? And here it is. The next step. Giving it a fresh green coat. Because everything looks better with a little color. I carefully paint every stroke. And somehow, it's starting to look way better than I expected. Finally done? I'm tired, so I'm letting the sun do the rest of the work. I found a patch of floating plants. And somehow, my garden is doing better than I am. And of course, they're coming with me, straight into their new home, the aquarium I've been building. This is amazing. The circle just floats on the water like a little raft, exactly how I imagined. Now it's time to add the floating plants. One by one, gently placing them on the water, watching everything slowly come together. Wow, in just a few days, it feels like a dream. The plants have grown way faster than I ever expected. Still looks a bit empty, so I added more plants, and now I'm officially overdoing it. Now it actually looks finished, which means I should probably stop before I ruin it. I added some flowers next to it, and somehow, now it feels like a whole ecosystem. All right, come take a look with me. The aquarium, and its little friends around it. Just sit back and enjoy. And now, the moment I've been waiting for. I picked some guppies to bring this whole thing to life. I gently released the fish, one by one, placing them onto the floating circle, watching them slowly explore their new home. Let's take a moment and enjoy everything around this little aquarium. Simple, peaceful, and somehow really satisfying. Wait, hold on. Look at that. The pennywort is growing way better than I expected. One day later, watching the fish swim around their new home, it feels like they've already... Now let me ask you, how long do you think it took me to finish this aquarium? Drop your guess in the comments. And if you love aquariums like I do, hit subscribe and stay tuned for the next video.